everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
I'm Chicklin.
And we really are, right? You really are Chicklin, and I really am
Oh,
Mike.
yeah.
This is
course.
not a scam.
I'm actually not Chicklin. I'm Peggy.
You're Peggy?
I'm just kidding.
You're kidding? No, don't scam everyone. We're telling the truth. We are who we say we are.
Yeah.
Just like Mick yesterday in the first part of our unit when he's a guy who works for WTC Telecom, and he called Sally Miles a customer, and he wanted to ask her some questions, right? He wanted to give her a customer satisfaction survey. Basically, she pays for internet service from Mick's company, and he wanted to make sure she was happy. But she was a little nervous.
Yeah, because she wasn't sure it was a scam.
That's right. She thought he might be trying to trick her into giving up some personal information. But he said, No. I'm an honest guy. I just want to ask you some questions. She kind of was okay with that, but she had a problem, didn't she?
She was at work.
She was busy. Yeah, she's a working lady. So he said he would send her the survey by email. And that is what we're going to be reading today.
Yay.
Yeah, it's Mick's Customer Satisfaction Survey to Sally. So we'll be reading it and seeing what kinds of questions Mick's company wants to know from customers like Sally. So let's check it out.
Reading. Taking a survey through email. From Mick Santana at WTC.com to smiles_77@gmail.com. Subject, Customer Satisfaction Survey. Dear Ms. Miles, thank you for participating in WTC Telecom's Customer Satisfaction Survey. We'd like your honest opinions about how our service is working for you. Please rate the following on a scale of 1 to 10. Reliability.
9.
Comments.
The internet rarely ever goes down, even when lots of people at home are using it. I'm very happy that WTC provides a stable service.
Speed.
7.
Comments.
The speed is usually fine, but sometimes when my kids are playing online games, it gets a little slower. This makes it harder to stream movies at the same time.
Cost.
7.
Comments.
I think for what we get, the service is generally a good value. I've seen cheaper prices from other internet providers, though.
Ease of use.
5.
Comments.
On the rare occasions that the internet goes down, it is hard to set it up again. I had to call the company last time to get help. The instructions for setting up the internet could be clearer.
All right, so our article, as we said, takes the form of an email. So we're not really reading an article. We're reading what an email would look like if you read it from top to bottom. And if you read the very top of the email, you're weird. Nobody reads the very top of an email. But if you did, this is what it would say. From, and then the person who sent it. In this case, Mick Santana at WTC.com. That's the person who's sending it. To, that's the person who is getting it, who it is being sent to. In this case, it's Sally. Remember Sally? Her last name was Miles, Sally Miles, so her email is Smiles. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Sally Miles or Smiles. Underscore, that's how we would say underscore or underline, 77@gmail.com. All right, so these are just two email addresses. And then the subject line, this is what the email is about. Customer Satisfaction Survey, that is what the email is about, just so you know before you actually read it.
所以你看到主旨就是顾客满意度调查，这个 satisfaction 就是满意度的意思。
Do you like it? Do you not like it? I'm asking you about your satisfaction, basically. How satisfied To use the adjective, you are. So that's basically the main idea of this whole email and this whole survey. But there is a bit of a beginning or an introduction. Dear Ms. Miles, and it would say Dear Mr. Jones or Dear Miss Smith or whoever they're sending it to. Dear Ms. Miles, in this case, thank you for participating in WTC Telecom's Customer Satisfaction Survey. We'd like your honest opinions about how our service is working for you. Yes, absolutely. And they're thanking her basically for participating in this customer satisfaction survey. Because if you participate in something, you're joining in, you're taking part. Here is an activity, and you're not sitting there watching the activity from the side. You're in the action, you're taking part, you're joining in, you are part of that activity or that action. For example, Glenn is very healthy. And last year, he participated in 3 marathons. He didn't watch them on television while eating a giant bag of potato chips. He was running in the marathons. He did the 26 miles, 42 kilometers, whatever it was. He took part or participated in the marathons. He was in the race as a runner.Cool.
所以这边所以这边看到 participate 它就是参与的意思，那通常后面会加上一个 in 代表你参与什么，那名词就是 participation， 那它的另外一个名词的样子就是参加者的意思，那英文就是 participant。 那我们再一个例句咯， Tori is one of the most active participants in our discussion， 代表呢 Tori 是我们其中这个讨论里面其中一个最活跃的参加者。那文章啊这个寄来的 survey 就说了，亲爱的 Miss Miles， 谢谢您参与我们的顾客满意调查，我们希望呢您能对我们的服务给予最真实的意见。
All right, so they're asking her to give her honest opinions. Yes, don't lie on a survey. You're just wasting everyone's time. Give your honest opinion. And how does she do that? Well, the email continues, please rate the following on a scale of 1 to 10. All right, yeah. So when you rate things, you're being asked to basically grade something. Give it a score. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If I just ask you a simple yes-no question, yeah, that's kind of like rating. But generally with rating, we give it a score. 1 star out of 5 or an A instead of an F. A meaning good, F meaning bad. So it's kind of like when you get a grade from a teacher on a test or in a little more casual way, if you're just telling someone if you liked something and what your score would be if you're, giving your opinion. For example, I would only rate that restaurant 2 stars out of 5. It wasn't very good. And generally, of course, when we rate things, the lower number is not so good. The higher number is good or
2 is
very
like
good.
very bad.
2 out of 5, yeah, it's not, I mean, I didn't get sick, but I'm not going to go back.
Yeah, it was even below average.
Definitely.
所以看一下 rate 就是评价。那我们刚刚看到 on a scale of 它指的就是根据什么的程度或级别。So sometimes you can ask your boyfriend saying on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love me?
No, don't ask that.
很难回答，所以应该每个男朋友都会说 10. 所以口语上如果你说比如说你说我觉得某人啊或某物不怎么样的意思，就可以说 I don't really rate something or someone. That means maybe you don't really like it or 你不知道给他什么评价。比如说 on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate her performance a 7. 所以给10分的话呢，我觉得她的表演大概是7分左右。那文章就是说以下面的几点呢，请你以1到10分来评分。
All right, so to get a little bit more interesting or more useful information out of this survey, it seems that Mick's company, WTC Telecom, has kind of broken it down into different parts of the business, different things that the customers would notice or, would have an opinion on. So the first one is reliability. Basically, if the internet is always working, whenever you need it, is it always working? Even if it's raining outside, sometimes if there's a typhoon or on the weekend when everyone's playing online games, right? The internet might not work so well. So basically, whenever you need it, whenever you turn it on, does it always work? And so the reliability, I guess that's her score. And out of 1 to 10, she gives it 9.
Wow.
That's really good, right? So as she says in the comments, and they leave a space for you to write a little bit more, basically explain why you give it that grade and why you rate it that score. She says, the internet rarely ever goes down, even when lots of people at home are using it. I'm very happy that WTC provides a stable service. So there you go. It's basically always working when she needs it to.
所以 reliability 就是可靠性。那再来看看这个 comment 这个字，它就是评论的意思。那他说了 the internet rarely ever goes down。go down 就是电脑系统故障的意思，所以代表网络很少出问题。
All right. So, yes, here we use this word to provide, right? WTC provides stable service, or her internet provides good reliability. Because when you provide something, you give it, you deliver it, you put it out there so that people can use it. Maybe as a business, right? We might say, oh, the MRT provides really fast and clean and safe transportation. Your parents provide you with food and a place to stay. It's not always a business. It's just that's where I go when I need something, and that person or that thing gives it to me when I need it. Here's an example. The cable TV company doesn't provide very good service. I think I'll stop paying for it. Yeah, I think I know what cable TV or company they're talking about there.
所以 provide 就是提供的意思。所以有两个用法 to provide someone with something or to provide something for or to someone or something. 比如说 they provide food for the homeless. 那我们把它换过来就是 they provide the homeless with food. 他们给无家可归的人食物。So, what does WTC provide their customers with?
They provide them with stable service. Okay, when something is stable, this adjective basically means it is always there. It's reliable. You can count on it. It won't let you down. Okay, so basically it's not like I go on it sometimes and, everything is so slow and I can't watch any of my movies, or if I even try to download a simple email, it takes 15 minutes or something. No, it means it's always there and it always works in the same kind of way. For example, sure, it's not the fastest computer in the world, but it's very stable. I've never had a problem with it. Yeah, sometimes you have something that works really well sometimes, but then other times it's almost like it's broken. So that's not very stable.
Yeah. 所以 stable 就是稳定的，那稳定的工作就是 a stable job。比如说 he got a stable job right after graduation。毕业之后他就马上有一个很稳定的工作。那a stable can also be a building where horses are kept，就是马厩。那文章就说，就算很多人同时使用，网络还是很畅通，真的好开心 WTC 有这么稳定的品质。
Okay, so the next category in the survey is speed, basically how fast the internet lets you download things, right? We often hear about 4G and 5G and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. If you play online games, you need a lot of internet speed. But if you're like my mom and you only download an email once a day, you don't need a whole lot of speed. So that's the kind of thing, how fast the internet gives you service, or how fast, basically, it downloads stuff. And here, Sally gave it a 7. So, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And in the comments, all right, she explains, and this is useful. The speed is usually fine, but sometimes when my kids are playing online games, it gets a little slower. There's lag or latency, to use some of the internet terms. This makes it harder to stream movies at the same time. You know, when you're watching a movie, especially like a Sunday night when everyone else is watching a movie, and suddenly it keeps stopping all the time, and you might like reboot your computer or something like that, launch the browser again. So it slows down. The speed is not so great, especially when you're doing things that require some speed, watching movies, streaming movies, or playing those games. Because when you stream something, basically you're getting data through the internet at the same time as you're using that data. So this is not downloading, where your computer just sits there quietly getting the program, sort of copying it onto your computer. This is where it's bringing the information in and putting it up on the screen at the same time. It's a great way to watch movies, right? Because you don't have to wait 2 hours for the movie to finish downloading. But if your speed on your internet is not so good, it will sort of end up being kind of interrupted all the time. For example, do you want to come over tomorrow morning? I'm going to stream the final game of the NBA playoffs. I know some people, they download it and watch it later at night.
Yeah.
But if you like to watch sports live, you have to basically stream them on the internet.
所以这个 stream 就是有线上串流播放的意思。那这个字呢，它有流动啊或涌出的意思。比如说一个人泪流满面，你就给了他一张面纸，你就可以讲 I saw tears streaming down her face, so I handed her a tissue. 那这个字当名词 stream 也可以有溪流、人流等等。比如说山间的小溪流 a mountain stream 也可以。所以对于他们的速率呢，这个顾客他们是给7分，评论是速率不差，但如果我的小孩玩线上游戏就会变慢，所以如果同时要看电影就会比较麻烦。
Okay, the next category, cost. Price, money, basically for what you pay, do you think you get a good deal from our company? And so she says 7, cost is 7, just kind of average. She says, I think for what we get, the service is generally a good value. It's usually okay when my kids are like, Mom, I can't play my games. She thinks, I wish I got a better service for the price I'm paying. But generally, usually, it's okay. She says, I've seen cheaper prices from other internet providers, though. So there's other businesses in the town, in the city, in the country. And she's like, hey, they give the same service, but it's $200 cheaper every month.
Oh, wow.
Or something like that. But generally, she thinks it's pretty good. When we say generally, we're kind of just saying usually. It's generally a good value. If I look at everything in total, it's a good value. But for a few things, maybe not so happy. But, generally 90% of the time, 80-90% of the time, I'm pretty happy with it. For example, on the weekends, Josh generally doesn't go to bed until 1 or 2 a.m. He likes to stay up and play games online, maybe. But maybe, someday he has to get up early for his grandma's birthday. He'll go to bed earlier. But generally, he goes to bed a little later.
Right, 所以 generally 就是整体上，总的来说。那我们有一个片语常常说 generally speaking， 代表也是多数情况下。比如说 generally speaking, the more you pay, the more you get. 好，就是说，总的来说，如果你大概你付比较多钱，你就会拿到比较多，可能这个状况下是这样。那我们再看另外一个，它的形容词其实就是 general， 那代表就是全体的、一般的意思。那当名词的时候，也就有将军的意思，所以又有另外一个片语就是 in general， 其实就是总的来说也差不多。比如说 in general, women cry more often than men。那我们刚刚又看到 a good value， 它指的就是物有所值，所以代表说，他们的这个价钱呢，我们给7分，是觉得依照我们所得到的服务是蛮超值的。不过他还是有看到比他们更便宜的公司。
Okay, so the last category that the survey asks about is ease of use. Okay, ease is basically the noun form of the adjective easy. If it is easy, it gives you no problems, right?
Yeah.
It's simple. It's not difficult or complicated. So ease of use is basically how easy is it to use, all right? So a good thing about, let's say, those easy cards, right? Easy cards provide a lot of ease of use. You can use them to pay for a bus, an MRT. Yeah. You can buy things, pay for a taxi.
Yo-yo card, right?
Yo-yo cards, that's right. Yeah, you can use those, and they make your life very easy, and they're not complicated. They don't break, things like that. So basically, ease of use, how easy is it to use? How much trouble does it bring to your life when it doesn't work quite so well. So she says 5. I think the company could do a little better if she's giving it a 5. And she explains why she gives it a 5. On the rare occasions that the internet goes down, it is hard to set it up again. It's hard to make it work again. I had to call the company last time to get help. The instructions for setting up the internet could be clearer. Okay. This is sometimes when you use online apps or like if you buy a new phone. It's much easier now because the phone will kind of set itself up. But back in the old days, you had to reload all your apps and transfer all your pictures. And I know older people like my mom, she'd be like, oh, I don't know how to do this, and you'd have to go and help them. So we're talking about that kind of thing. How easy is it when you have a problem to get the problem fixed?
所以这边呢 ease of use 我们指的就是使用方便性。那它意思就是说，虽然网络很少故障，不过一旦故障呢，就要重新设置。这个重新，然后而且又很难处理，又很难重新设置。这边的 set something up 就是安装设置的意思。他说呢，上次发生的时候，我还要打电话给公司求助。关于怎么安装设置的教学指南也讲得不够清楚，可以再写清楚一点点。
All right, so there you go. Some stuff to think about for Mix Company. A pretty good score, but I think there are some areas that the bosses at the company might want to fix. So all in all, a useful bit of customer feedback. All right, guys, we're going to go to our chat question, so let's do that right now.
For You Chat.
Okay, so our chat question is basically, about surveys and why companies do them. The questions are, what should companies do to make sure their customers are happy? And do customers ask for too much from companies?
Just do whatever they ask. And
okay.
As long as they're happy and they get the service that they think they should, they will be happy.
Okay. I think that's probably...
Sometimes some customers are pretty difficult.
Some can be. They can expect too much. Or I think part of it, though, and what I would say is maybe communicate with customers.
Oh, yeah.
Like things like the internet, for example. I mean, I don't really know how it all works. So there could be reasons that it doesn't work well on Sunday nights. And I think, if they explain a bit, we feel like we know it a bit better. It's kind of like with doctors. You might feel it's a scary situation. But once they explain it, you're like, oh, okay, so I know kind of how it works. So I think having a bit more communication between the customers, that, at least for me, especially with computer stuff, because I'm like, it's so easy. Why doesn't it work? It worked yesterday, but it doesn't work now. And there might be a reason for that. So maybe let the customers know a little bit more, and then... maybe they'll understand why things do go wrong. All right, guys. Well, speak up when you have an opinion. Do a customer survey or call up a company if you're unhappy with the business. I think the more they hear from people, the better service they can provide, and the happier we will all be. And we hope you guys remain happy until we see you again sometime very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Participate. The teacher encouraged all the students to participate in the class discussion. Rate. The commercial said that this car has been rated as this year's best model. Provide. Good parents provide their children with a safe home and lots of love. Stable. This is a stable job. I'm not worried that the company will close down suddenly. Stream. These days, people watch a lot of TV by streaming it through the internet. Generally. The restaurant was generally fine, but Marvin didn't like the way the waiters looked at him.
智慧小补帖
Satisfaction. Reliability. Comment.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000。 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net